And I hope that they can respect me just as much by not poking fun at me. So while I'm respecting them, though, I have to make sure that I also respect myself, and now also respect my daughter, and make sure that we provide for ourselves, because a lot of us, and I was just talking with some friends before we started tonight, you've been vegan for 10 years and you still go to the family's party, and there's absolutely, unless you brought it, there's absolutely nothing that you can eat. And one of the first Christmases that Josh and I spent together, one meal, all that there was for us to eat was cherry tomatoes and carrot sticks. And we had traveled, and spent like $800 on airfare to go visit family, and I lost 5 pounds and I was starving the whole time. And I can't let that happen to myself anymore. So there's so many options and so many great things food-wise that we have, and we just need to be prepared, and we need to bring our own food. And it's such an opportunity to do outreach as well. I mean, you can think of it that way. And you need to bring more than you'll eat, because let's all talk about how we can have pizza ordered and there's one vegan pizza and it's the very first thing to go, right? It's always the one that's gone first. And all these carnivores, I had no idea this could be so good. And it's, so be prepared, because that's what's going to happen, is that everyone's going to want to try your vegan food, and they're going to think, oh my God, Brussels sprouts are delicious. And then they're going to eat them all. So make sure that you make enough. And actually, I have some recipe booklets up here that have some great recipes that you are all welcome to take. So another important aspect when you're sharing your vegan food is don't apologize for it being different if it is different. I mean, obviously Brussels sprouts aren't going to be different, but if you go and you make vegan sausages, or you make something that has, a fake cheese in it, don't apologize. Oh, well, it's not going to taste like real cheese, because it is real. Your food's not fake, it is real, and I even use the word fake meat, but don't apologize for it, because then you're giving them an in, and they're going to pick it apart, or you're right from the get-go, you're saying that this isn't going to be as good as what you think it's going to be, or as what your version of it might be. So don't let them get you that way. So the other thing that I like to think of is that we are ambassadors in a sense, and even if you don't like that idea, I think, you may deny it or say, I don't have to be an ambassador, I can be how I want. You can be, but if you're a jerk, then all vegans are jerks, because you're a jerk. And I hate to say that and sound like, your mom, but it's kind of true, because people will make great assumptions. They'll make grand assumptions, and you have one bad experience with someone, and then, from then on, every vegan was in my face or wasn't nice to me, and especially around the holidays, and when there's so much emotion going into these meals and these family gatherings, you really have to take the high road and just, let those snide comments pass you by, or, well, what do you eat? People are so surprised. Oh my God, what do you eat? And really, you say, well, gosh, what don't I eat? And it's really obvious. The only thing I don't eat is animals. There's a lot of other food out there. And you can list on and on and on. And they'll quickly realize that their question was actually not a very intelligent question. So we are all ambassadors, whether we like it or not. Another thing my mom taught me, which, it's odd that she can't accept me because she is responsible for me, is, and it's kind of an un-vegan thought, but to kill people with kindness is the best way, because nobody is going to be able to be a jerk to someone that's being really nice. And sometimes you just have to do that and sort of take one for the team. And then you won't all have big, huge fights and talk about the hideous holidays of 2009. So another way of considering, dealing with these kind of silly questions that we get from people, or just a way to feel positive about where you are, is that we are, veganism is something that you are doing. It's not something that you're not doing. And if it's something that's positive, like I'm not eating, I'm eating foods that are good for me. I'm eating foods that don't hurt things. I'm eating foods that are not harmful to the planet. It doesn't become so much of what you don't do, which is then seen as, well, she can't have that, and she can't have that, or that's illegal, as my mom likes to say. And it doesn't become like I'm some sort of food police. I'm more of, I show her all of the positive things and all of the things that we can eat. And often it's way more than what they have on their plate, which is one little hunk of meat. A tradition or a concept that you can, or kind of like a challenge that you can have for yourself is to, when you go to these holiday traditions and everybody's making this and that and you've got grandma's candied yams and all these kinds of things, is that you are going to be bringing something, not only a different attitude and a different set of habits, but you could be bringing a food item that is completely different that people have never had before. And it's really an opportunity to pull out all the stops for yourself and cooking and try to make something that's going to wow everybody at the table and bring the item that's like the most amazing thing. And I definitely think that if you use some of these recipes, you could do that. But it's a new tradition that you can introduce and make it something that's the most memorable for everyone. And it's up to you, and it's up to how your family situation is. But at the end of the day, it's just a great opportunity to not have this challenging family drama, but to have maybe the beginning of something that's really great and positive with your family, and you showing them that you know what you're doing and you can make good food and make a great first impression or lasting impression on them. And that is what I have to say.